In this video, we're going to explore searching the literature using Google Scholar. First, we're going to set up Google Scholar to use it and link to the library. Then we're going to search the literature on a specific question using the strategy PICO. Then we'll refine our search, save the results, and set up a Google alert to keep us up to date. So, first, we're going to look at setting up. We're going to link to Pacific University. We're going to use various buttons, and we'll see how that works. First, let's set up Google. So we come over here to our options button, and once we get into that, come down to settings, and we look at library links, and notice I already have Pacific, but if you don't have that, then you will type Pacific and choose from the menu, find Pacific University, and save it. Settings. The other thing we would kind of like to do is add a button. I already have my button installed, but you can do it, and what it does is click next to the URL to look up any papers as you browse through your journals. Alright, and then next we'll look at the options button again. And go to settings, and we want to have at least 20 results per page. I've used EndNote for many years, and so I would click there. You don't really have to click anything here. So we're going to use a search strategy called PICO, and PICO stands for Population Problem, Intervention, Control, and Outcome. And we're going to ask the question, do blue light filters help, blue blocking filters, do they help ease eye strain? This is a question that is frequently asked. We recently had a representative from a lens manufacturer come and give us a talk, and he argued that they were effective. So let's check that out. Let's put in our PICO search, and we have blue light. I'm going to use filter. I'm going to use RCT. I'm going to have eye strain. Let's search that. So we can see the first one is the effect of blue light blocking spectacle lenses on visual performance, macular health, and sleep-wake cycle. It's a review. Another review about blue light filtering intraocular lenses, blue light filtering spectacle lenses for visual performance, sleep and macular health, blue light filtering, and so forth. So our blue light was our P for PICO, filter was the intervention, RCT, we were looking for a control that was a randomized controlled trial. You could also put in things like placebo, and our outcome was eye strain. Now we noticed some things that we didn't really want in our search, so we want to refine our search. And some of the ways you can refine it is you can use quotations for phrases. For example, blue light, we don't just want the words blue and light, we want blue light, so we can put it in quotes. We can also place a minus prior to a keyword. We can put a plus prior to a keyword. We can limit the search to a year, or something like that, year of publication. And we can look for keywords in the article titles. Now we noticed in our search that we got some review papers and some non-review papers. It's good to get review papers that, when we put in randomize the RCT, we get meta-analyses, and those are good papers that summarize the articles up to that particular date of publication. That's useful, but if we want to check for a particular claim, then we would want to exclude. So to add a review, you do a plus sign plus review. To get rid of review papers, you do minus sign and review. So let's try that out. Okay, so an easy thing to do is to put quotes here in our search. Blue light. Also, eye strain probably would be a good one to put in quotes. We don't want all articles with eyes or articles with strains. For example, that last time we got 2,900 results. Let's see what happens when we do this. We're down to 63 results. That made it a lot smaller. I worry a little bit about just having eye strain as our outcome measure. I think we should maybe also add symptoms. It could be that we're missing some by limiting it to eye strain. That actually only gave us 2 more. Now we're up to 66. So that's okay. We would have missed those articles. Now, one of the things that as we go through this list, we can see that it talks about psychiatric hospitalization and how the effect of blue depleted evening lights or something like that. We're interested in spectacles. So let's get rid of psychiatric. And if we go down here, that's probably not there anymore. What else do we have that we really don't care about? We are mostly interested in spectacles, and this is trying to increase the thickness of the macula as a blue blocking agent. So let's make sure that our search has spectacles. And we went from 55 to get rid of when we got rid of psychiatric to 41 when we only want spectacles. They might have used, in this case, they're using blue blocking filters. So they had a blue light filter and they compared it to lutein and zeaxanthin. So that's not too bad. I notice our first reference here has primary, or has, the first reference has psychiatric hospitalization, and we asked to get rid of that. Let's see if the problem is that I have a space in between the minus. Yep, there it goes away. Now we're down to 17 results. We're getting this narrowed down pretty well. Now we notice that we have some things here that are kind of generic, and blue light, possibly the most important articles have the word blue light in the title. Now I think this can be a dangerous kind of filter to use, but we can put in the title, request that we require the title to include blue light. And so that would be the keyword in title, colon, and then blue light. So let's see what we get with that. We're down to only 2. That may or may not be good enough for us. One is a systematic review of the literature, and assuming that they had something to review, requiring blue light in the title may or may not be a good idea. So that is how we refine our search. I'm going to get rid of this in title because really 17 results aren't too bad to look at. The next thing we want to do is finally at the end create an alert. So we like this search, we want to keep track of these things, and so we're going to create a Google alert. And the way we're going to do that is to come over here to the side. Now you have to be at the top of your sheet. So if you're down here at the bottom, notice that this stuff disappears. We want to create an alert. And so here we have our search. It's already got our query in there. Now it's got this Gmail, which I never look at, and I'm going to put in my name instead. And you would put in your email, and we'll have it show up to 20 results. Let's create an alert. So we've narrowed our search down to 17 articles. But we probably don't want all those to be saved. So now we're going to, but we do want some of them to be saved. So now we're going to load up our Zotero database. And we're going to do this by clicking on the folder icon for at the top of your browser. It's the Zotero connector. Before we had looked at a web page and it was a little page. Now it's going to be a folder. And it shows up a folder when there is more than one article or more than one reference that it finds on the web page. We're going to check the desired articles, and then we're going to select the Zotero folder to save the articles. Alright, so here we are with our 17 results. And now let's come over to the folder here, and let's save to Zotero. And notice that it drops down this really cool little list. These are our 17 articles that we've found. Now let's see which ones, based on the titles, that we would like to add. We have the effect of blue light blocking spectacle lenses on visual performance. That looks like a good one. There's a PDF. Somebody has written a paper and saved that. It's not really a journal article. We have blue light filtering spectacles. Actually, that sounds like the other one. Doesn't have the word "the" at the beginning. Again, computer vision syndrome, maybe. I don't think we want the rose tinted. That's kind of a different question. Developing dyslexia is not really related to symptoms. Well, it is kind of, but not for our purposes. We don't really want, suggest colored filters have no proven efficacy. That's maybe of interest for another day. Visual stress, not really. Oxford Handbook, no. Here we go. So let's see, where shall we save this? Let's go down here, and we can save it in our file blue blockers. Done. And notice the little warning screen for Zotero didn't pop up because I already have it opened. And let's go to blue blockers. And we see we've added our files. So here's the one, the effect of blue light, blue blocking spectacle lenses. So that's how we add to Zotero. Now the thing that's important about this is that we have the list of references. We can create a bibliography when we write a paper, or or a case report or something like that. And we'll see an example of that in a little bit. Our job is not quite done. We need to get the complete article. In order to do that, we have to, it's a little complicated, but the simplest way I've found to do this, and there may be others as well, is to use Zotero.org and the Google Scholar button. So first, make sure that your sync status is correct. We'll go through an example in a minute. Then go to Zotero and log in. Go to the folder of interest. Click on the article. Use the Scholar button next to the URL line on your browser to pull up the article on the internet. This usually gives you access to the complete article, but sometimes you have to jump through a few hoops to get there. Save the PDF, then go to Zotero.org, your library in there, and when you have clicked on the reference you're interested in, at the bottom you'll see Upload Attachment. So then go to where you saved the PDF, find the file, and drag it into the box that's listed there. Since we last met, I went back into Google Scholar and I ran the search again and created a new folder, Blue Light and Eye Strain. Now I added the search, I got rid of dyslexia, and I downloaded the articles that I wanted from there. But then I also went at the bottom of the Google Scholar screen it talks about related articles and cited articles. Well, I went to related articles and actually added a few more. But for our purposes now, we want to figure out how to get the files. And what you do, first you make sure you're synced, and that up here there is Edit, and there are Preferences, and then you can and then we click on Sync, and we can see these options here to sync automatically, sync the full text, sync attachment files in group libraries, and so forth. We want to make sure we're syncing with the internet. And so then we want to go to Zotero, and we want to log in. And this is where you really want to register if you haven't so far. This step is critical in the method we're going to discuss. We see we have the Blue Light and Eye Strain, and if we click on this file, we see there's an upload attachment. Up on the URL line here, we have this Google button. That's the Google Scholar button. We want to press that. And here is the article, and we want to get the full text. Now we can, in this case, we can use either of these options and it should work. And here it is, the effect of blue light. Now if we go to downloads, or if I have a download folder in here, and up here there is a download button, and I could give this a name. I'm just going to call it Lawrenson for the author. Oh, we go back to Zotero. It's up here. And we scroll down and we upload attachments. And I go to my directory. We see here's Lawrenson. I'm going to make that a little smaller. And then I drag Lawrenson in here. and click Upload. Now we're capturing this PDF, and there it is at the bottom of our attachments. Let's go into our PC version of Zotero. Blue light, let's see, where's Lawrenson? Now notice it now has this little greater than sign next to it. When we click on that, we see there's our PDF. There we go. Whoops, the effect of blue light blocking lenses. So now we can go through and study our article. And that's how we upload. There's a variety of things. Sometimes you have to do a little more to get to it. When you click on that get the full file, it will it links to Pacific University's website, and it asks you to pick places to get the article from. You click on that. It's a little kludgy, but it works, and it's well worth the effort to get these files using this method. So that's it for this video. We learned to search the literature. You will be able to use this to write case reports, to find articles of interest as you're going through learning your clinical practice. You can also use this as a means of defense when you go to listen to continuing education programs and kind of trust but verify what the industry representatives are telling you.